Okay, so good evening, class. So let's continue the discussion on earlier. So we have discussed already a few, mga cost estimation and analysis. So let's move on to the correlation analysis. So when we say correlation analysis, class, it tells us how things move together. So it measures the strength and direction of the relationship between two variables. So in this case, ma-assess nato diri ang level of activity and as well as the cost. So natay two things nga importante diri sa correlation analysis, which refers to the activity level or balik activity level where it refers to the hours work, unit produced, and etc. And then the cost is the total cost, labor cost, utilities, etc. So if the activity goes up, does cost also go up? Or are there any changes? So correlation analysis will help us check if naaba jud na strong or weak relationship between the two. So in this case, class, ang management ani ganahan sila makabalo if the activity they choose is really connected to the cost. Maka-cost ba ni og change? So if production units, for example, increase and also cost increase consistently, then production units are a good basis for predicting the cost. Pero if ang production units nausab and then the cost wala ra siya kaayo nausab or wala, so kana nga activity base, it might not be useful. So we have here coefficient of determination, R squared, tells us how strong the relationship is. So the R squared value measures the degree of correlation between the cost and activity. So it tells us how well the changes in activity explain the changes in total cost. So nata diri values if ang R squared or ang correlation yeah, I mean if the rawan ha if the R squared is close to 1, then there is a strong correlation, meaning the cost and activity move closely together, na effect. Pero if it is close to 0, then it has a weak correlation, meaning there is only a little relationship between cost and activity. Okay, so the degree of correlation between the level of activity and cost, it may be measured by the coefficient of determination, and most frequently designated as R squared. Compute for this. So, wala na lang kung i-continue. Let's focus lang anay more on the meaning, the description. So, we say coefficient of determination, class, or R squared, that is a number or a percentage that tells us how much of the change in the dependent variable can be explained by the independent variable. Actually, it can be a percentage. It can also be a close to 1 in like a decimal number ba. Okay, so it can be explained by the independent variable activity level. Okay, so we have here the formulas. So, as we can see, ang pinaka-formula sa coefficient of determination is 1 minus the estimated conditional standard deviation measured from the line of regression squared divided by the standard deviation measured from the average of all data squared. So, natay duha ka kinds of a formula. Ang kalahian ng diri is that ang letter A, this is an estimated conditional standard deviation wherein ang number of items of data giminusan og 2. Meanwhile, sa standard deviation measured from the average of all data, wala ra siya giminusan. So, maybe mangutana mo, ano sa mo din na siya gamiton, ma'am? So, you use formula A if you are trying to measure the difference between the actual cost and the predicted cost from the regression line. So, in short, you use formula A when you want to know how far the actual cost deviate from the predicted cost. Meanwhile, class, formula B, wala tadag minus of 2 diri from the number of items. So you are measuring the variation of actual cost around the mean average cost. So wala pa ka nagamit diri og regression line yet, only the average. So use formula B class when you want to know how far actual cost deviate from the average cost, dili from the predicted cost. Ang formula A is for predicted cost and formula B for the average cost. Okay, so as you can see, natay gi-compute diri based on the predictors problem. So, muna na 1 minus 2.83 squared divided by 33.70 squared. So, it is already computed division. Then, we will have a result of 99.3%. Therefore, there is a high degree of correlation between hours of operation and the supply cost. So, taas ni siya class ang correlation. Meaning, close to 1 ni siya. Close to 100. Okay. So, we have here data, no? Computation of estimate conditional standard deviation. Meaning, conditional nga ni mauni ang katumay no sa nugto ang number of items. So, now, as we can see, the estimated conditional standard deviation. So, ato ni pangitaon anay ang deviations, no? I-squared anay siya. So, we will get the, nasa ba ito ko laser for a while? Okay. So, this one, kaning 1595, this is the total na of this. Okay. So, but, unsaan man siya pagkuha? So, gikan ni siya diri sa deviations. So, as you can see, y minus y. So, squared na ni ang values diri. And you will get that one. Then, the number of items is 10. I guess 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Minus 2. So, you will get it 1,595.60 divided by 8. And you will have your estimate conditional standard deviation of 2.83 pesos. So, another is, you use the average of all data. So, as you can see, lahi na no, og data. So, now, same lang gihapon, squared lang gihapon ang answers diri, usa pa ka mag-add diri. Okay? Squared lang sa tagsa-tagsa, usa ka mag-answer sa, usa ka mag-total. So, as we can see, the standard deviation is square root of 11,000 divided by 10. So, no need to minus. And we will have our computation for standard deviation measure from average of all data is 33.70. Okay, so the cost behavior models are correlational rather than causal nga naman. So, in a causal model kasi class, one variable directly causes the other. Meanwhile, ang correlational, two variables move together but one may not cause the other. So, in a causal model, x causes y. So, when x changes, the y changes also because of x. So, example, if more hours are worked, then mas higher ang electricity cost. If more units are produced, then mas higher ang materials cost. So, you can say that there is a real logical cost. Kay ang X, it is really affected or it can directly affect the Y. Okay? So, kung tayo ang X is the unit produced, more hours of work, then ang Y is electricity. So, kung mas daghan na ito, let's say, hours of work, mas taas ang electricity. Kaya kagamit mo electricity. Then, kung mas daghan na ito i-produce sa X, mas taas ang material cost nato sa Y. So, it directly affects. Okay, so the correlational model, because they move together, no? Pero there is no proven cost. In a correlational model, X and Y move together, but we do not know if one causes the other. So, we use driver cost or cost driver to predict the cost. But the cost driver must actually cause the cost. So, dapat siya ang hinungdan nga nung na change ang kana nga cost. So, if not, ang atong mga predictions will be wrong. So, for example, if we use the number of employees to predict electricity cost, it may only be correlation, pero dili siya causation. Because kanang electricity, that is caused by paggamit sa machine, pila ka hours, and dili sa number of employees, right? Dili siya directly, it doesn't directly affect. Okay, so if the activity doesn't really cost the cost, the estimate becomes misleading and unreliable. So meaning, pwede ani, the budget will be wrong, cost predictions will be inaccurate, and decisions may be based on false relationships. So that's it. Then, we have here the cause and effect relationship might arise in several ways. Letter A, we have here the physical relationship. So ako na dyan nag-highlight dira ang more output is equals to more material, then higher cost. So a physical relationship actually happens when producing more units physically requires more resources. So, mo naman no, kung ganahan mag-produce og more units, kailangan po nato physical resources, di ba? So because of this, the cost automatically increases. So it shows a direct physical link. So for example, to produce more chairs, you need more wood. To bake more cupcakes, you need more flour or flour. To flour na no sa Bisaya. Okay, so you need more flour. And then to manufacture more products, you need more raw materials. So that's why makaingon ta guys nga more output ang atong ganahan is equals to more materials then higher cost. Okay? Next is letter A. This is letter B class ha. Contractual relationship. So it exists when the cost increases because a contract, policy, or system says so. So it is not because of physical assumption. So ang atong pinaka-main nga timailhan diri, the more usage under the contract, the higher the cost. So for example, namatay phone system no nga, let's say metered. So the more minutes you use, the higher phone bill. Nakainomdom ko ani nga, if mulagpas, let's say natay telephone, if mulagpas ta sa required nga minutes, so mo charge pud siya, no? Then sa electricity bill naman, so more kilowatt hours consumed, mas higher ang charge based on the meter. Man permitan ounce sa kanang mga taga-LIECO, no? Electricity bill. And then internet data plans with usage-based charges, so naiuban nga kutubra ing ani ka GB, ingani nga MB. O sa mga load, famous ni siya. So the cost is driven by usage because a contract or agreement defines the rate. So even if it's not a physical resource, ang kana nga cost mo increase according to the rules of the contract. So more usage under contract, the higher the cost. Then, another is the logical relationship. So, this exists when the cost increases because of how the company operations naturally work. No? So, even if there is no physical or contractual rule, so it is based on common sense and the nature of the work. So, for example, no, a product with many parts requires more design planning, of course, di ba? Then a more complicated process, it needs more hours of engineering, supervision, and quality control. You cannot just you cannot just easily kanang for example, dali ra ba mabuhat? It's because it's complicated. So, ang kanang complicated process, nanghinanglan po nagdugay pa nga quality control, supervision, tan-awon pa na siya, i-evaluate pa na sila. And then another example is more advertising campaigns mean the marketing department needs more design and creative work. Kaya daghan man ang demand nga advertising campaigns. So that's it. More complexity, mas lisod siya, more work needed, so the higher the cost. So that's the logical relationship. Okay, so I want to emphasize that correlation does not mean causation. Nga naman. A high correlation actually class between two variables, it does not always mean one causes the other. So, pwede man nga naatay third factor na maoy naka-affect So the connection for that may be coincidental, right? So well, there is what we call economic plausibility. So in simplest term, it means that is the relationship between the activity or the cost driver and the cost. So must make sense in real life. So even if two numbers move together kay lagi na effect, we cannot use them for the cost estimation unless naatay logical and practical reason. This one. So only a true cause and effect relationship, not just correlation, can establish a reliable, economically sound link between cost and cost driver. So, for example, class, if a production increases, the material cost also increases. So, that makes sense, right? Kung ang production increase, mataas po ang atong material cost. How about if ang temperature out sa gawas, uh, malahi, then ang effect kay the salaries also change. Also may effect. So, it does not make sense. That is not a economically plausible. No? Kaya unsa may connection sa mo taas ang temperature sa gawas niya, mo taas pud ang sweldo. O, di ba? Wala. Okay. Next, or the last part, is the learning curve theory. So, when we say learning curve, it means that the more times workers perform a task, the better, faster, and more efficient they become because the time per unit decreases. No? Kay, the time per unit decreases, the labor cost per unit decreases, and the productivity increases over time. So this is where the learning curve theory applies. So also called as the improvement curve. So it suggests nga, again, as workers gain experience in performing a task, they become more efficient. So mas less na lang ang time to complete each unit, and productivity increases also. So the key concept there is that study shows that learning follows a predictable pattern. So kung ang total number of units produced ni double, ang average time nato per unit mo decrease. So by a constant percentage. So maintain lang siya ba? So for example, if a production time decreases by 20% every time the total output doubles, so that's called an 80% learning curve. Kung we decrease siya 20% every time the total output doubles, so that is what we call the 80% learning curve. Okay, you can just read this one, no? Some of the uses of learning curve, but to sum it up, so it helps the companies estimate future cost, of course, the planned labor, the way they set budget, evaluate performance, and create fair incentives. So because the workers naturally become faster as they gain experience. Kaya hasa naman sa trabaho. So there are steps that we need to follow, no? So you just read this one. So the learning curve helps predict how much faster and more efficient workers become as they gain experience, so making it powerful. So we have an example of the learning curve theory. So as you can see, natay given. So for example, a worker can finish 1 unit of product in 2 hours, and a 20% learning curve is applicable. The cumulative time schedule will be shown as follows. So, muna na siya ang data. Cumulative quantity 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64. So, ni-increase siya by 2, multiplied by like 1 times 2, 2, 2 times 2, 4, 4 times 2, 8, 8 times 2, 16, and so on and so forth. So, the learning curve concept, it shows that as workers repeat a task, they become more efficient, right? So, ang pasabot lang ani class is that ang usa ka worker, they can finish 1 unit in 2 hours. And then, our learning rate is 80%. Or there is 20% improvement. So, that means every time production doubles, the average time per unit becomes 80% of the previous average time. So, magtika-double man ni production like kani magtika-double man ni. So, the time per unit decreases by 20% each time. Okay? So this shows the learning effect. The more you produce, the more efficient the workers become. So this means that when the production doubled from 4 units to 8, the average labor hours per unit dropped to 85% of the previous level. So, in other words, no, the workers became 15% more efficient due to learning and experience. So, this is the formula, no, for problem 1. So, as you can see, naman itong data diri. And then, this is computed, no. So, magtikalas man ang time, di ba? The more efficient man ang pagtrabaho. So, learning rate, the reduction in time varies 10 and 40% depending on the repetitiveness of labor operation. So, with 20% being a common reduction nila tanan. So, in the calculating the learning rate that applies to the specific situation, data on manufacturing the first 2 lots of a product can be used. So, the formula to compute for the learning rate is this. So now let's look at the other side. Assume that for a project, the first lot of 4 units required for a total of 4,000 direct labor hours. So ang second lot naman, more units requires an additional 2,800 direct labor po. So learning rate for this operation is calculated as follows. So nakabutang diri the average input quantity cost for the first 2 units is 4,000 and then plus 2,800 the second lot divided by 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Divided by the 8. So, learning rate for this operation, that is 850 divided by 4,000 per hour. So, divided by 4, that is 1,000. So, we have 850 divided by 1,000, that is 85%. No? Okay. So, first lot of 4 units required, nakabutang diri, first lot of 4 units required for a total of 4,000 direct labor hours. The second lot of 4 more units, kaduha man class, sa first lot 4 plus the second lot 4, so that's 8. So 4,000 plus 2, 8 divided by 8, divided by the 4,000, the average input quantity for the first unit, so that's 4,000 divided by 4. So, mo nang pagkuha class. So, if you have any questions, thank you for listening, no? So, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. And please, the next reporters, prepare na kay para next meeting, diretso-diretso na itong discussion or ang inyong discussion natin. Okay, thank you and God bless.